Greetings, I'm Rodger Newbold, and welcome to episode 23 of Experienced Photography. My fellow photographer, my partner, my editor in this episode is Matt Rich. You know, he's the man that makes all of this vlog work. He's been working his socks off, and now I hear him hightailing it back to the chair. Are you there, my friend?
Gotta put it back on.
Good.
Thanks.
In episode 22, we talked about teleextenders and provided a dozen points for you to be aware of when you employ telephoto extenders into your workflow. We discussed to get magnification or to obtain that telephoto look or advantage, that meaning bringing the subject matter closer and flattening out the perspective, means actually using a telephoto lens or a combination of a telephoto lens with an available optical magnifier, 1.4, 1720, whatever size you need. This makes subject matter more prominent, and it's a great look. It can really change the perspective and look of an image. Now, today we're going to cover something to do with all of your files and how you protect and preserve them. Now, after years, and I literally mean decades, of research, experimentation, discussion with colleagues, and a lot of trial and error usage, Matt and I would like to offer some thoughts to you on data file organization and storage and retrieval. Now, I mean literally decades. When I taught my first digital workshop, which was 1999, this problem began because we didn't file and organize and put digital things the same way we did negatives or transparencies. And now this problem is particularly important if you're a new digital user and you have not yet put your images in a file in order to, use some type of database software or other orderly method to keep track of them. I said important. I want to make this much more emphatic. It's absolutely necessary. An unorganized digital accumulation will reach a critical mass situation swiftly. Digital images multiply speedily because of the lack of expense connected with buying and purchasing film and processing. Once you obtain a camera body and a lens and a couple of memory cards and large capacity USB and something for saving the data, overhead is rather low. Nothing like the cost of film and processing, scanning, and everything else. That's a big plus, but it's also a kick in the pants at the same time. When shooting is virtually free, files multiply like rabbits, and you will have so many images in your first year you'll never locate them again without some absolutely real, tender, loving care. Now, changing an organizational style in mid-career is far more time-consuming, but it's totally worth your effort. Don't get disappointed. Don't get unhappy and down on yourself. No throwing tantrums. There's no crying in baseball. There's no tantrums in digital photography. Camera guys sell cameras, and some people will teach you how best to use that camera. But nobody ventures into how to store images so they can be most useful. And we've stumbled into a system to actually save ourselves from drowning in piles of files. And let's look at the world famous photographer J. Maisel. He's figure number 1. There's good old Jay. Just turned 92. Granted, Jay runs a commercial photography business and handles a great volume of images, far more than most of us will ever see or do. Take a look at figure number 2. That's Jay in his office. Now, figure number 3 shows Jay in the middle of a pile of photo rejects. These are seconds and thirds, bracketed images. This is how fast they multiply. And digital is even worse. The suggested importance and or necessity of a storage and retrieval system is shown in that image number 3. If you take a picture in May, and then you decide, that's going to make a great Christmas card in December, wouldn't it be nice to know where it was stored at, or where you stashed it, or where is it now? Whether it been misplaced or filed incorrectly in a senior moment, it needs to be found. Now, there are software commercial solutions. There are hundreds, possibly thousands, if you pay for it, we'll fix it systems. And they're on the market. And sad to admit, through the years, I've tried several. Now, conceivably, am I the only square peg in a round hole society? I doubt it. Many offerings wanted to file, and track, and organize, and then bill clients. And I didn't need any of that. A few wanted to put everything I owned in the sky and rent some kind of heavenly locker. Now that appealed to me because I didn't have to purchase a bucket load of hard drives and then maintain them. But retrieval downloads were impossibly long. Sort of like, the store's closing, would you please get out? You know, you don't have time. Putting them up is not such a big problem, but getting them back is colossal. One was pretty fantastic. In just about every manner, it communicated well with my editing program, Photoshop. But it didn't play well with others, as they may say. It didn't want to interconnect with multiple drives. Now, my files are far too considerable in number of years covered and the quantity of images that I've made and in the sum of locations. So, sorry, Charlie. I even commissioned a programmer friend to generate what I wanted, thinking, what a solution. After a year, he told me, go jump in the lake, you silly square peg. That's what he murmured on the way out the door and off into outer space somewhere. Who knows? Digital Legoland. That's what I'm calling it. It's a build-your-own solution. And this is where it gave birth to a system. Now, it may be not the system, certainly not the only system, but it works. And I can find things. And that's what's important. Now, first, a word of admonition. You are welcome to use any part of the following information for your storage and retrieval system. Many of my colleagues use all or some of this, of the parts of this for their information. And you just make it fit your needs. Prudence is the watchword here. It's essential that you make the system work for you. It is your obligation to follow it, your system, religiously. Do it daily. Maybe Matt will put these up. It is your commitment to download and save image cards immediately. It is requisite that you update files at every single step outlined in this program and maintain a clear hierarchy. It is your duty to keep a backup copy of all Condition 3, that's the final storage files, on a portable SSD drive and put it in a secondary location apart from your computer, apart from your house preferably. It may be in a safety deposit box at a bank. It may be at a trusted relative's location. But it is mandatory that you update or save at least monthly all Condition 3 files. These are not idle words. They're not just cautions or advice. You must treat these files like little blocks of gold. They're that valuable. Take a peek at figure number 4. Wah! As I have cautioned others, I've had 3 hard drives quit. I mean, cease operation, go totally kerflooey. Nothing you can do about it except back up often. I even had one hard drive try to do the backstroke in my office when a toilet flooded over. Nothing you can do about it except back up often. Emergencies are just that. Unanticipated disasters. Do not press your luck. All right, let's see if I can explain this arrangement. Now, figure number 5 is our ingest. Number 1, every image shot is downloaded, either from the camera or via a card reader, into your computer, either to a hard drive or a solid state drive. We call these hard drive 1 and SSD 1. I like SSDs because they really have no moving parts, unlike hard drives that are eventually going to fail. Not when or if, it's when it fails. All files retain their camera name or gang rename them. For example, mine are named RN GC 2022 underscore 0914. Now, HDD1 is the first drive in line to capture the ingest of all files. These are the Condition 1 files. They're raw files for, and if you must, JPEGs. But they've had no action taken against any of them. HHD1 drive, or SSD1, it's going to fill up really rapidly since it receives every single file. Don't be throwing files away. I've already explained to you, this is how you accidentally lose a year's worth of data. Throwing files away. Deleting. Oops. Yeah, it's a big oops. Half a trip. Man, that's a kick in the pants. Just save them. Over the years, your editing skills will improve. And you'll be able to utilize files that you cannot tame currently. And the editing software, I mean, it improves and updates with feverish regularity. Items that are currently unacceptable will be usable soon. Now, as HHD1 fills, or SSD1, add a new drive to the chain. Name it HHD1A, and the next one HHD1B, etc. Has to have SD or HD1, and then A, B, C, how many drives you need. But it contains all of your information. Trust me, you want to do that. Now, place the incoming files. Make a folder and label it with the year of creation. Okay, we're currently 2023. So I make a file, stick it in my hard drive, 2023. Every file goes into there. If you're recreating from past stuff, you'll have a 22, a 21, a 20, a 19, you know. Put them in filed by year. Now, place those in a location where they were made. So inside of 2023, I'm going to have another file that says BC, Bryce Canyon. And you're going to have a number of folders in here from Bryce in a recent trip there. Ah, beautiful red rock, snow. Doesn't get any better. Could use a little temperature. Now, you're going to have numerous folders, one for Grand Canyon, one for Hawaii, wherever you go, wherever you're taking pictures from your regular city, your town, your farmland out south. I don't know, but you put a year folder followed by a location folder. Easy enough. Since the file will also contain file numbers, a quick search is in order, and you can find any image in a snap. Now, when you get to the edit stage, or we're going into condition number 2, use that naming constraint as the image file info stage. You won't be able to lose a file. I'm not kidding. You can find them. If you know what year you shot it, if you know where location you shot it, if you know the name of the place you were at and the day and the time, you're going to find it. Pretty darn easy. Now, RN on my file stands for me, Rodger Newbold. GC stands for the location, Grand Canyon. 2022 stands for the year it was taken. And 0914 was that dang file number that the camera assigned to it. So look at figure number 6. This is the edit hierarchy. This is the ingest. This is how you get everything in and where to put it. Push the letter K on your keyboard. Is that right? K. And stop this edit, or stop this video right in spot. Look at that file picture in 6 and see how it's done. Now, after reviewing all of these files and making a choice to edit an image in your software of choice, mine's Photoshop, load that file into a new hard drive. Move it over to a new hard drive, HDD 2, or partition in your hard drive. It's cheaper to buy a real hard drive and do it correctly. These are files which will now be in condition 2, meaning that you're editing or in the process of editing. Many times it takes days to get something correct. But the file name should be updated to rn2 underscore Grand Canyon GC underscore 2022 underscore Mount Hayden, that's in the Grand Canyon, underscore 0914. Now, I can't lose that. I know it was the Grand Canyon in 2022, and it's a file number, and it's Mount Hayden. How can you lose it? You can't. Now place all of the incoming files in a folder labeled with that year of creation. Place those incoming folders in a file labeled with the location. Now, it's requisite that you update your files at every single step and you maintain this clear hierarchy. It's not difficult. You move it from here to here. You add a little more information so that it's easily retrievable and found and identified. Now, the final storage. Look at figure number 7 and its hierarchy. After reviewing your files and making all your necessary edits, get it? Load that file into a new hard drive or a partition. I hate partitions. Labeled HHD or SSD 3. Now, these are the files that are now in condition number 3. They are finished edits. They keep all the process of being printed and stored. So make a little folder and you say this is Mount Hayden and all your information on that little folder, and you stick it in your 2022 file folder under the Grand Canyon and under Mount Hayden, and it has the file and all of its edits. Now, if I do this often, I put in a file and then somebody calls up, hey, do you have that in black and white? Hey, I sure do. I go to that file, I pull up that information, and I go back in that file and edit it, save it as a black and white version and toast it up, save it for a specific size, save it for a specific client, save it for anything you want. Save it and keep it in the same file. If somebody says, hey, I'd like that thing in soft focus and a little more red, just fix it. Save that. Man, it's so darn easy. Now, the file numbers should be updated to rn3 underscore GC underscore 2022 underscore Mount Hayden underscore 0914. Place the incoming files in their labeled year and creation and place, and everything is fine. It is requisite. It's your responsibility to update the files at every single step and maintain a clear hierarchy. It's not that bad, not that time consuming. You only deal with this file when you select it to work on it, and then you only deal with that file when you work on it and you're saving it and you're going to print it or stash it or whatever you're going to do with it. So you're not seeing masses of stuff. You're dealing with one thing at a time. It's very calm. It just meanders along and you do the right thing. Now, your organization is complete, but you must faithfully follow through in protecting and preserving of your database. Update the copy that you've left with a neighbor or at the bank at least monthly. Update often. Take care of this. Do not be lax, and you will have a happy digital life. That I can guarantee. Best wishes to you, my friends. Remember that the brick wall that we face daily, it's not there to keep us out. It's there to see how much we really want what's over the other side, what's out there. Let the beauty of what you love be exactly what you do. Come on, we want to see you out there making photographs and having fun and not being frustrated and flying off the handle. Remember, the Stone Age did not end because they ran out of rocks. It ended because somebody came up with a better idea. And here is your better idea. It's a good system. Now, creativity is contagious, so pass it on. My friends, our time is up. But Matt and I certainly hope that we've given you a real quantity of powerful new ideas to try out. This has been of value to you. Give us the old thumbs up. Tinkle that bell. Subscribe to our channel. Tell all of your friends, hey, I've got a way that you won't lose a file ever. If you just take care of things in a smooth order. By all means, let your friends know that we offer experienced advice. Now, everybody can become a better photographer. They can have more fun. And keep those comments coming in. We really appreciate them all. I hope you found this to be the best vlog you watched this week, and that it's important, really important to you. A tip of my hat to you, my friends. Until we meet again on screen, cheerio.